I love that you're honing in on relationship. And that for me has been the center point and why I call my work real healing, relational, emotional alchemy language. It's this way of noticing that every moment is a choice to interact and be connected or disconnected. And so the relationship with my body had not been a place of learning until I had to learn how to take care of it in order to feel good. And it was the stomach aches and the nausea and the diarrhea and the cramps and all of those symptoms, passing blood, you know, really intense symptoms that my body was trying to speak out. It was trying to get me to understand this language. And relationship often is so emphasized outside of us. You know, who do you like? Who you're going to date? Who you're going to marry? You know, does this person like you? Do they not like you? That sense of being in the world with relationship as this thing you go get or that you're given, that connection is what my body was trying to fill in the gaps of and saying, I am your first relationship. How I feel, how I sense life through this body is the most important relationship of all. And I was having these big breakups and these, you know, challenges connecting with other people, not knowing what to say or keeping back my truth in external relationship so that I could feel the impact of that and then have that insight and that wisdom that would say, wait, how did I get here? Like, how did I make this decision? Like, where did it start inside of me to then say, oh, I need to break up, or, you know, I'm not getting what I want, or you're not getting what you want, but I thought I was giving it. You know, all these questions started to come up from external relationships to show me my internal relationship world.
Wow, I think it's so important. This is some message that like came to me recently, actually. It hasn't been like, I so can relate to not like relating to our bodies. I feel like right now I'm like so grateful to my body. It's like one of our biggest allies in this world. Like we should really tune into our bodies. Like that's how we experience the physical world and this realm here, right? If we don't have our body, like we can't experience this life, right? I think it's so important, like to wake up to that. I think it's so important. And for people listening, I just want to like emphasize that if someone is going through the same issues or having those health issues that are normally like, I don't know how they're called in English, when you can't really even find the medical diagnosis for them, you know?
Yes.
It's like there's often a calling just for you to wake up to there's something not aligned.
Exactly. And those are the kinds of people I love to work with, is people who have a lot of awareness, are really sensitive, know that there is this inner outer communication always happening that's seen and unseen, and yet it doesn't make sense. Like, it's not clear, like, why am I having these health symptoms? Why am I having these mental symptoms? And you know, I want to circle back to what you were saying about the way that relationships were showing me what was going on. I call this approach a language, relational emotional alchemy language, because I just heard in something you said a moment ago that we don't tune in, or we can tune in. And the word tune works with instruments. We tune a guitar. You know, we create a way to express that is harmonious, that works. And so relationships often show us what doesn't work, and it's painful. And so when the body is giving you a symptom like pain, or something else like a skin rash or a headache or a tightness in your back, we've been told that there's just one way to translate it. You know, physical symptom, physical reason. And what I found over 25 years was that there is so much more going on in between the words, in between the levels of feeling, that actually have the keys to understand and change the relationship structure.
Yeah, I think it really needs a pause here.
Yeah,
So
just to let that sink in. Yeah. Because that's what's really changing in the community of healing and spirituality, is what are the messages that I'm listening to? How am I listening to them? And then what are the options for how I respond to them? So an example is, in the past, I would have a stomach cramp and I'd say, oh my God, what did I eat? You know, something went through my physical body and it's bad, it doesn't work. And then maybe my mind, my physical body would start participating, and I might judge myself. I might try and figure it out. Like, was it this thing, or did I leave enough time? Or, oh no, I didn't take my medication at the right time. You know, I would have really looked at the physical cause for the effect. Now, because I've refined my nutritional landscape, because I know what are the relationships that food has with my body, what works, how do I eat it, and when, I've set up the conditions for that to be pretty clear. So when I have physical symptom, what's left is all these other ways to translate the message through the energy body, through the relational body, through the soul body. So I look to, okay, let me start a conversation with myself, with my body, and see what it has to say, with all these other windows open for the message to come through. And that's the intuition. A big part of my work, a big part of my healing was learning how to use my intuition, because it was the gatekeeper between my mind, my body, and my soul that could tune me to the frequency, to the expression that equals health. You know, the translation, if we look at where the word health comes from, it means wholeness. And if we look at the disconnects that we've inherited, that we've learned, that says you're incomplete unless you have this partner. You're part of a whole. You're just half of that whole. Then you can start to see, this is all built in, where I'm expecting myself to be unhealthy. I'm expecting myself to be less than until I find the thing that makes me whole or that shows me how to be better, when really it's all exactly how it needs to be. And we go back to the symptom. Okay, so I'm in pain. How is that exactly how I'm supposed to be? Well, what if the pain, the sensation of tightness, is the word that we've been told describes what's happening? But what if you asked someone else and they gave you a different word? So what if I ask my body, hey body, what's this pain that I'm feeling? And my body says fear, or it says confusion, or it says anger. Now I just have another understanding, another word that describes the sensation that I'm going through, that then gives me the chance to have a different relationship with it. So if the pain is actually anger, all knotted up in my stomach, or fear, clenching, trying to protect itself. And I've asked my body through my intuition, help me understand this. I want to relate to you more clearly, more honestly, without judgments, more essentially. And my body gives me a message. Maybe it even gives it through a picture. Oh, I'm seeing like this big rock. I'm seeing like this yucky, spinning black stew. Now I have another message that I can be in relationship with. If I see that black stew and I get scared, that tells me something about my relationship to fear, to something I don't understand. If I notice my body says anger and I get ashamed, or judgmental, I shouldn't be angry. What's there to be angry about? My life is great. Now I've seen another way that I'm relating to anger. And so what I'm describing here is a little bit of my approach, this real healing approach to heal mental and physical illness. But what I'm really talking about is seeing life and the body as a collection of relationships built up over time.